Hello, everyone. This is Regina Bale, the Environmental Education Coordinator for the Center for Environment and Society right here at the Water School. I'm glad you're watching our video series today. Throughout our series, we've been talking about how to take data collected from your schoolyard on a Survey 123 and then use it in your science lessons through a web map. And now from this video, it's going to be through dashboards. So we're going to build a data dashboard to help you and your students to see the different patterns within the data, complete an analysis, and all those good things that you can't wait to do with your schoolyard information. So let's dive right into this activity. So first, go to your organization's ArcGIS online page. On your home page, you're going to click on the waffle icon. That's what I prefer to call it. It looks like a waffle. It's also known as the app launcher, and it will show you all the different applications that you have access to. So all these different icons and labels. Today we're going to be focusing on the dashboard icon. So that is going to be a gold icon that has a small bar graph and a screen. So it's actually right here at the top for me. It says dashboard underneath. Remember, you can click on and drag these icons into any order that you like. So I often have them set up by what I use most often. So I have Survey 123, Map Viewer, and Dashboard right at the top. So let's get started with Dashboard by clicking on the dashboard icon. So a screen like this will appear that will show your organization, the dashboards that you have created. So this is a bunch of dashboards I've made, and then shared dashboards that have been shared back and forth within your organization or beyond your organization. For today's video, we're not working on a previous dashboard, we're making a brand new one. So in the upper right, you'll see a Create Dashboard button. So click on that Create Dashboard button to begin. So a new screen will appear with the dashboard content. So the most important thing to set up right away is the title so that you can easily find it within all of your other dashboards. Adding tags as well will support this if you have regular tags that you use to find certain projects or topics. So at my organization, when I'm working on something that's specifically for K12, I put K12 in the title and the tag. While if I'm working on something that's for the university itself, I'll just put FGCU, or I'll put like K20 to show that it goes up to the college level. So definitely work with your organization to see if there are particular ways that you want to tag things so that they're easier to find. It's quite possible if you're a fourth grade teacher working on a dashboard, you might want to build one, tag it fourth grade or fourth grade science or fourth grade math. And that way the other teachers who work in that same area can find it. So I'm going to start with my title, FGCU, CES for Center for Environment and Society. K12 PH dashboard. I'm putting practice at the end, so I remember that this is the practice one that I made for our video tutorial today. Then you'll want to click on the button below that says Create Dashboard. A new screen will appear that shows you your new dashboard. So your new dashboard is pretty empty. It's this white sheet. It's got nothing on it except a starting point for you to help you visualize, monitor, and share information from your data sources. This stuff on the outside, like this title, nobody will see, only what is on this white canvas. On the left side are your icons to help you get started. So in the upper left, there is this plus icon for add element, but it's also in the center. You can use these links to help you find more information, but we're going to dive right in by clicking on that plus button in the center of your screen to pick out our first element to add to the dashboard. So first element we're going to add is a map. Notice in this drop down, there are a lot of different options that you can use to show data to represent what you're trying to get students to understand about the phenomena that you're studying, the thing that's happening in your schoolyard, kind of approach the standard that you're trying to hit. But the map is going to be our starting point because we spent so much time in those last videos making our web map. And this way, the web map kind of gets a lot of things started for us, which is really exciting. So click on Map in the drop-down, and we'll begin. So this screen pops up, and it's a grid or list of maps that will appear. It depends on how you set up your own ArcGIS online. The most recent thing that I worked on from the previous video, which is the FGCU K12 water quality map, is the first thing that pops up on my list. So that's kind of nice. If you're doing these all together one at a time, you're going to have the most recent thing you worked on there. But if it's from another person, you'll want to click on shared maps to find it. You can also adjust this screen a bit. You can use the search tools to find, keywords or tags. You can also switch to alphabetical, and this could be in alphabetical order so you can find what you're looking for. But since mine is right up at the top, I'm just going to click on this one right away. So a new window appears, and what you're going to see is this on the left. So on the left are a lot of different options for your web map. There are actually multiple different actions and layers and information. This, you do not have to settle on deciding if you're going to use these items or not right away, because you can adjust this at any time. I just wanted to show you, you can immediately click done and you'll be fine. Your map will appear according to the design you had before. This is usually some of the things that I select. So I like to have the pop-ups in there that we've already designed. Maybe your map doesn't really need pop-ups, so you can just remove that toggle. I like using the ruler, so that way students kind of see a comparison of distance. The legend, usually I've already built a legend in the map. I like the base map switcher. Sometimes people need to change the base map to see like higher or lower contrast. Maybe they want to see the comparison of like where buildings are versus where natural areas are. And some of those base maps are better for that. So I like having that on there. Allowing the search. I always have activities where students have to search for like our school address, maybe their own address, maybe an address of places they've been to before, maybe of cities they want to go visit. So that way they can compare the data that was collected in their area to maybe data that was in other places. So a lot of cool options there, but you don't have to select any of these right away. Either would work to just hit done and your map will appear on your dashboard. So click on done after you've made your selections, and remember you can always edit these selections later. So just like other applications in ArcGIS Online, you got to remember that the program does not auto-save. So notice this arrow is pointing to it again. If you have a blue dot by your save icon, you need to click on that and make sure you are saving periodically. Sometimes you will get 4 or 5 new elements on this dashboard. You will design it exactly the way you want it and then realize that you have not saved in a while, and then there's some sort of problem. So don't let that be you, because designing it twice is not fun. So make sure you look at that icon. It looks like a floppy disk for those of you who remember what those look like, and make sure to save every time you see that blue dot so you do not lose your work. So this actually is your dashboard right now. It's just one giant map. So right now, it's not very dynamic, it's not very exciting, and it doesn't really help that much in assisting students in understanding the data that's being collected, other than showing location, giving us our cool symbology, the size-related symbology. But even right now, the legend isn't very obvious. So there's a lot of things that we could add to this to make this dashboard more user-friendly for our students. So now, we're going to add an element. So the first element we added was the map, and it had just blank space, a dot in the center with a plus sign. Now we have to work around the element we've already added, which is the map. So when you click on the Add Element button in the upper left corner, you will then get the same plus symbol around the elements that already exist on your dashboard. So for this one, we are going to add a header. So we're going to select the plus button at the top of your map. So now notice how it highlights blue. It shows you where the item is going to go that you've selected. So if you don't like this, you're like, wait, I don't want the header on the top, I want it on the side, then you'd be able to go to the other pluses, and change your mind. For us, header, we want it right at the top. So we're going to click on header from the drop-down menu and get started. So once again, a new window appears. This window automatically pre-populates the header as the title you've already given this dashboard. You can make adjustments or changes. The important thing to remember is everything on the left side of the screen is how you can type in and adjust and change color. That is where you're going to be changing things. This part on the right just shows you what you've selected. So if I change the color, this will change color. but you're not typing on this side, you're typing on this side in the title and subtitle boxes. So feel free to adjust as you like. I'm happy with it saying exactly the same, so I'm just going to click done and move on. So now our dashboard's a little bit better. We have a title to the dashboard, we have our map. Now we need to add some more elements. So once again, we press on the add element button, which is the plus symbol button, and it will show us more spots where we can place elements. So for this one, let's place an element to the left and make a legend. So when I click on map legend, I get this. This is pre-populated from the map we already developed. In the previous video, we made this legend where it shows symbols at different sizes, and the different sizes relate to the actual number of pH, the pH level. So the bigger the circle, the higher the pH, the more basic it is. The lower the number, the more acidic, the smaller the symbol is. So this legend, I don't feel the need to configure anymore. We already designed it in our map previously. But if you want to feel like adding a description or changing the text color, this is where you change it. So on the left is where you change items. On the right is where you see what it would look like. When you are finished, you click on the done button in the lower right corner, and then it will be added to your dashboard. So now we have a header, we have a legend, we have our map within our dashboard. One thing to notice is now on this dashboard, it automatically splits 50-50 when there are two elements together. So we set up this legend to be on the left side of the map. It automatically split them 50-50. Now, is this the best design choice? Up to you, but you can always hover your cursor in between these items and drag and move around those edges. I'm not going to change those edges just yet. I want to add a few more elements first before I decide about what needs to be moved around. So we're going to click on the add element button again to get our plus signs all over the board. What I'd like to do is put an element right here in this big blank empty space that's still part of the legend. So these plus symbols can also appear when you hover over this item. So when you hover over just this item, you can actually get these little plus symbols all around just this item instead of the whole dashboard. So if I want to add something to the bottom of the legend, I can hit the plus button here and add something new. So for this, I'm going to add a rich text box. So hit the plus button, and then in the drop down, select the rich text. So here I have another new window that opens up that shows me how I can set up my rich text box. Now, just like all the previous other elements, on the left is where you type and change things. On the right is where it shows what it will look like. So if you try to start clicking and typing on this, it won't do anything. You have to stay on the left in the actual text box editor. Here you can change the colors of the text, the background. You can add, italics, bold. You can center your text. It's up to you what you want to do with it. So you can format it as needed. This is actually a great opportunity to put in directions, more information, to help students understand the data that's being represented, even how it was collected. You could put information from the survey where it says these were the 3 questions students were asked when they went out into the field, and then this is the data that ended up coming out of that, exploration. You could also write acknowledgments or any other information you just want to communicate to the user of the dashboard to let them know what this dashboard is and how it works. Once you're done, click on the Done button in the lower right corner, and it will be added to your dashboard. So this is now what the dashboard looks like with the 4 elements that we've added. We added a map, a header, a legend, and the rich text. We're going to stop this video because in the next video, we're going to show you more ways to configure these different pieces, work on your layout, but also to add some more dynamic elements that will change and adjust as you adjust the map. Also elements that if you adjust the elements, it will adjust the map. So really cool interactive way to have students exploring the different data options and how to filter the data. So in this video series, we've been learning about how to take data from our schoolyards, add it to a survey 123, bring it to a web map, and then develop a dashboard. In this most recent video, we created a dashboard from the web maps that we already developed using Survey 123 data. In the next video, we're going to go a little bit further and configure more of these elements and make some more dynamic elements to our dashboard. So hope you enjoyed this video and it was useful for you. Feel free to watch anytime to review the content, and we will see you next time.